Hello everybody, welcome back to Making It Up. I'm Isa and I am sitting on my bedroom floor. That can only mean one thing. We are back to decluttering, baby. I've done decluttering videos in the past. I decluttered my collection a few years ago, and since then, I've collected a few more things, not a lot because I've been on low buys for the most part, but I've definitely collected some things. Some things have gone bad. Things are starting to get pretty crowded up in the old vanity, so we definitely need to do a declutter. I took to Instagram and asked you guys what you wanted to see first, and you guys said, not surprisingly at all, cheek products first. So today, you're tackling blushes, bronzers, contours, and highlighters. We're doing it all, baby. If you're as into decluttering videos as I am, then grab a snack, get yourself comfy, and let's get started, baby. Let's declutter the collection. Here are all my bronzer slash contour products. The last time I did a declutter, I definitely made sure to get rid of all the ones that I didn't like anymore, so the collection is pretty small. So I'm not going to be downsizing a lot. I was originally planning on separating creams and powders. I think because this is such a small batch of products, I'm just going to separate the ones that I have right here. I'll go do that real quick and then we'll talk about it, shall we? These are the ones that I'm going to be keeping. These are the ones that I'm getting rid of because they're just simply old. This is a really old butter bronzer that has just seen better days. I hit pan on it. It's the first butter bronzer I ever had and I thought I was going to finish it. Did not. And then this one by Wet n Wild. It's just too old as well. I mean, powders aren't too bad and I did really love this, as you can see, but it's gotta go. So these are going, and now onto everything that I'm keeping. Let's just bring these forward a little. First one I'm keeping is the Fenty Beauty Cream Bronzer in Bought a Biscuit. This is really nasty, but I love it a lot. I use it all the time. Could not part ways with this. Really, really good bronzer. The Danessa Myricks one, I grappled with this one a bit. This is what's the name of this? I don't know. It's the Balm Contour. This is in the second lightest shade, and it's not bad. The undertone is a little orange for me actually, but I really, really like the consistency. I like the formula. It looks so good on my cheeks, so I'm keeping it. Obviously keeping my e.l.f. putty bronzer. It's so good. I've used and abused this. I love to travel with it. I love everything about this. Of course I'm keeping it. This one is my latest bronzer purchase, so I'm obviously keeping it, as well as the Rare Beauty Power Boost Bronzer Stick. This one is in a very light shade as well, and it is a little bit orangey. To be honest with you, it's not my favorite formula, but I still like it, so we're keeping it. My Armani Beauty A Contour in number 20. I don't think they even make this anymore, and it's my favorite contour product ever. I really, really love this, so not getting rid of it. And lastly for creams, my iconic London Caramel Glow Sheer Bronzer. Shade again is not completely right for me, but it's so sheer that I make it work, and I really, really, really enjoy it, so obviously keeping it. Now moving on to powders. Let's start with my Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion. Again, I don't think they make this anymore. It's my favorite bronzer. One of the best I've tried that comes in powder form because the formula is very gel-like. I have two different shades here. This is the one that I hit pan on years ago and I thought I was going to use up. Didn't. But I bought a backup thinking I was going to use this one up, and I haven't even started it. This one's a little deeper. I'm obviously keeping both of these because I don't know if you can even find them anywhere. Maybe I should get rid of this one. It's a little nasty, but I'm not gonna because I love it. And obviously we're keeping the backup. Obviously keeping my Maybelline City Bronzer. This is in the shade 100, and I love this to contour. It is really, really light. Maybe even a little too light for me sometimes, but I really enjoy it because it does add a little bit of that cool tone that you need whenever you're contouring, and it is very user-friendly, very affordable. Really, really love it, and I reach for it a lot. I also bought a backup of the butter bronzer ages ago when I hit pan on the other one and I thought I was going to need a replacement soon, and then I didn't. This one's brand new though, and I really do like the Physicians Formula butter bronzer. It's a good formula. It looks gorgeous on the skin, so why not? And also I love the smell, so we're keeping it. I'm also keeping my Lila B Sunkissed Bronze Beauty. Lila B is not a company anymore, I don't think, but I got this ages ago. This is a beautiful, beautiful shimmery bronzer. I don't really own any shimmery bronzer. I don't reach for this all that much. I only do when I go on vacation or to the beach when I want that sun-kissed look, but I might reach for it in the summer. I don't want to get rid of it because it's beautiful. I love the packaging, so I am keeping it for purely selfish reasons. Do I use it all that much? No. This could also come in handy as a weapon. Lastly, we're obviously keeping Benefit Hoola such a great bronzer. I've had it for years. Maybe I should really buy a new one because this is very old, but it doesn't smell bad. It doesn't make my skin break out. It isn't irritating, so we're keeping this one. Okay, and this is my final keeping and giving away pile. Did not declutter as much as I thought I would, but I really like this. Like all these products I do reach for, so I don't mind just getting rid of these oldies. They definitely need to go in the trash because they're very, very, very old. I've made my peace with it. So moving on to blush, I have this full basket here. So what I'm going to do is divide them into creams and powders because this is just going to be way too much if I do all of them at the same time, and then we'll discuss. Let me do that for a second. So here are all my cream blushes. I really do feel like I need to declutter these. I don't know how good I'm going to be at this because I love blush. But let's just go ahead, separate, and then we can talk about it. Okie dokie, so I have 3 mini piles here. This is what I'm keeping, the biggest pile. This is what I'm getting rid of currently, like for sure getting rid of. And I have this mini pile here of things that I'm not sure I want to get rid of. These are going to be on trial. What that means is I'm going to try to use these in the next few days and weeks, and if I just simply don't use them, I'll declutter them. If I fall in love with them, I'll keep them. Let's go through everything I'm keeping first. I'm keeping this Nude Sticks Nudies Matte All Over Face Blush color in Body Language. It is really, really good. I love it, and it is more of a pinkier, cooler tone product. I don't really have a lot of colors like this. It's mainly like warmer tones, more peachier stuff, so I really, really like this one. I'm also going to be keeping this Zara Beauty Manifesto color stick in the shade Lovers, and I really, really like this. It's almost a bronzy shade, but it's more of a terracotta. It's so, so good. I really like the formula. I just got this last year, and I really, really enjoy it. I reach for it a lot, and the packaging is to die for, so we're keeping it. I am keeping one of my Rare Beauty blushes. This is the shade Grateful. It is a little too, I don't know, it does feel like it might be a little too vibrant for me, but I like this formula, and I like this color. This is like the dewier shade because the one that I have on probation, let's say, is the matte one, which I love this color, but I don't like the matte formula as much as I like this one. It's easier to use, so we're keeping this one. My only glossy cloud paint that I have left, this is in the shade Storm. I used to have a bunch of these. I really enjoy the color. It is a berry. It is perfect on many, many skin tones, including mine, and I really, really like it. I have nothing quite like this one. It is more berry. Eventually, I want to repurchase these, but I already have a lot of blushes, so I don't know if I will, but I really love the formula. I'm also going to be keeping 3 of my 4 flower blush bombs in the shade Melon, the shade Nectar, and the shade Cinnamon. I love these. The 4th one that I have that I'm getting rid of for sure is the shade Pinched, and this shade is way too light for my skin. It doesn't show up, so I'm getting rid of that one, but these 3 are great. I love this formula. I reach for them all the time. I've had them for years, but they don't smell bad or anything, so we're keeping them. I'm also keeping my Undone Beauty Lip to Cheek palette. This is a 3-in-1 color cream that you can use like different intensities to create your look. I didn't know that, so I just like swirl around all of them. But I really like the shade. This is a shade Rosewood, I believe, and it is so beautiful. It's kind of rosy, but it still has that warmth in there. It is clean beauty though, so I do have to check for, you know, if things are growing on it or if it starts smelling funky. So far it isn't, so we're keeping it. Also, definitely keeping my Tower 28 Beach Please cheek tint in the shade Golden Hour. This is the second one I've purchased. I love it. I love the shade. Again, it's clean beauty, so I do have to be mindful of that. But I use it quite a bit. I take it traveling with me. One of my favorite blush formulas ever. And the color is just peachy, orangey perfection. You know what? This Physicians formula I thought I was for sure going to keep. I love it, but I haven't used it in so long, so this is going on probation. And then I'm obviously going to be keeping my About Face blushes. These are the Cheek Freak blushes in the shade Shagged and the shade Cowgirl, which is a terracotta. I love it. And then my latest and greatest is Shagged, which I also love. And I wish I could get more shades, but I already have too many blushes. These are the products that are on trial, on probation, whatever. I don't know what I'm going to call it, but I'm going to try to use these in the next few weeks and see if I like them or not, including, obviously, I just talked about this, the Physicians Formula Dewy Blush Elixir in the shade Gorgeous Peach. This is a peachy, pinky shade. Really, really nice, but again, haven't reached for this a lot. Also talked about the Rare Beauty blush in the shade Love, which is terracotta. It's beautiful, but it's matte. It's a little tricky to use, so we'll see if we can find a way around it. I have one of my ColourPop Super Shock Cheek products. This is in Growth Flirt. and I like the color, but I haven't reached for it, so I'm gonna try it, see if I like it. And lastly, I have the Burt's Bees All Aglow Lip and Cheek Stick in the shade Dahlia Dew, which is beautiful. This is like a red shade. It is gorgeous, like really, really unique in my collection, but I haven't reached for it in a while. We'll try it and see if it's worth keeping. Lastly, this is everything that I'm getting rid of, starting with this Florence by Mills Cheek Me Later Cream Blush, and it's just a mess. I don't reach for it ever because it broke and it's inconvenient. I don't reach for this ever, so it's leaving. Again, this one by Flower is leaving the collection because it doesn't suit my skin. Then I have this Oh Hi. I don't even know what this is. This is in Sahara. It's a blush little stick thing, but I just never reach for it. I like the color, but I just have other terracotta shades that are better. This L'Oreal Cushion Glow Blush, if you've seen my other decluttering videos, you'll know that I got this in Japan a while ago. So this has to go. It's all dried up, but it's a cushion blush. It was beautiful. I use it all the time, but I haven't reached for it in years. So I'm getting rid of 2 of my ColourPop Super Shock Cheek. These are both in matte. This one's tongue-tied and never been kissed. I already have shades like this, and this one's a little dried out, so I'm not keeping it. And then Never Been Kissed, it's cute, but I just don't reach for it all the time. And I feel like I have really similar products, like colors, so it's going away. I am parting ways with my MAC Hijinks Casual Color Lip and Cheek Color. My dad got this for me, and it was really sweet, and I loved it, and I didn't want to get rid of it for sentimental reasons, but it's old. I never reach for it. It doesn't smell bad or anything, but I just don't reach for it ever, and I feel like I have colors that are really similar to this that I'm keeping. And then lastly, I have this by Vanilla, I don't know what, I got this in Korea a few years ago, in the shade Coral Water. I loved this. Very, very unique product, very watery formula. Loved the color, but it's separating. I haven't reached for it in years, so it's definitely going. Okay, so this is everything that's going. This is everything that I'm keeping. Honestly, not too bad. I'm keeping a little more than I'm getting rid of, but I'm not mad at that. This is a good amount of product that definitely just needed to go. Moving on to powders, I definitely have a lot less powders than I do creams. So let me just separate these. Okay, so this one was really easy. This is gonna be on probation, on trial. These are the ones that I'm keeping. These are the ones that I'm getting rid of. So let me just talk about these for a second because they're just like right here. I'm getting rid of this Essence Satin Touch blush because again, it's broken. It's a beautiful blush, beautiful color, like beautiful formula and really affordable, but it's broken, so I never reach for it. And then I have this shade from the Isn't It Peachy palette from Makeup Obsession, which has other peaches. I don't really like this shade, so this one's gonna go. I think this is staying in the palette, and I might give it to someone else, and I'm gonna depot the other shades. And then the Too Faced Sweet Peach Glow is on trial, on probation. Really fucking love this palette. Love the peachy blush. Really like this, like, it's like a duochrome highlighter, but what I love the most is the bronzer. Like, it's so nice. I used to reach for this all the time, and I haven't in a long time, but maybe it's because this has been in the back of my drawer for ages. So I'm gonna try to use it in the next few weeks and see if I like it or not. And if I don't, I'll get rid of it and give it to someone else. And now let's get into all the stuff that I'm keeping. Firstly, Patrick Ta, Do We Know Her blush. This is a double take cream and powder blush. Really, really love this. This does have a cream, so another cream that I'm keeping, but I use it all the time. It's disgusting. But I also love the powder. I cannot part ways with this. Also keeping the Flower Putz powder blush in the shade Peach Primrose. Really love this so much. Love the formula, love the color. Flower just does not miss when it comes to their blushes. Such a great blush. I do not reach for it as much as I wish I did, but I mean, I'm keeping it, okay? It's beautiful and I love it. I'm also keeping my 2 Burt's Bees blushes. These are in the shade Bare Peach and Toasted Cinnamon. They both have a bit of shimmer. The peach one is a little bit less interesting because I do have a lot of peaches in my collection, but it is a very pretty shade. Toasted Cinnamon is almost like a bronzery shade, but it isn't. And it is a very interesting one, but I do love them both. So I'm keeping both. Great formulas and great price. I'm also keeping this Bare Minerals Gen Nude That Peach though. Really beautiful formula from Bare Minerals. Do I have 1,000 peachy blushes? Yes, but this is just what I reach for the most, and I really, really love this formula. It's super easy to use, and I do reach for it every once in a while, so it's staying. I'm also keeping my Cover FX Monochromatic Blush Duo in Soft Peach. It has a matte peachy blush and a shimmerier peachy pink situation. Actually, I really like this. Obviously, I love the blush, but I surprisingly also like the shimmery situation as well, so I'm keeping this. It's newer in my collection, and I love it. My NARS Exposed Cheek Palette, it's very old, okay? And they don't make this anymore, but they make like every year they come out with a really similar cheek palette. 1 highlighter, 5 blushes. I love this formula, and I love all these shades. These are so unique. I don't have a lot of berries, and obviously like one corally peach, which is just beautiful. Love the formula. It's almost like a gel powder. So I'm obviously not getting rid of this one. It was expensive. And then lastly, I'm keeping a few shades of the Isn't It Peachy blush palette from Makeup Obsession. This is no longer, but I really love the peach shades in here. These two are more unique to me. They are deeper peaches. This one is very light. It is very similar to the other peaches that I'm keeping in my collection. So you know what? I might just keep Hint and Bloom and get rid of Daydream as well. This is my baby, what I'm getting rid of, and what I'm keeping minus a product that is in trial, which is the Too Faced palette. I'm okay with this. Like, this isn't too much. Are they all basically peachy blushes? Yes, they are, but I don't mind that. These just had to go. I didn't have a ton to begin with, so I feel good with this situation. And now we move on to the last category, which is highlighters. For someone who doesn't ever use highlighter, like I rarely ever use highlighter, I have so many. So let's just separate them all and then we'll talk about the categories, shall we? Okay, so here we have 3 very not organized piles of what I'm keeping, products that are on probation, and things that I'm getting rid of. On trial is the Fenty Beauty How Many Carats All Over Diamond Veil. This is beautiful, but I don't use it as a highlighter. I use it as an eyeshadow, and I do also own a lot of other eyeshadows who kind of do this, and it might be a little too big for me to keep as a shadow, but I don't know if I should keep it. You know, I don't reach for this every single day, and it's kind of big, so we'll see how I enjoy it in the next few weeks. And I also have this Nude Sticks Skin Glossing Pencil. This is nice. I got this a really long time ago. It's kind of like a gloss with a little bit of a hint of peachy glow. I don't know about it. I mean, it's nice. I already own a few like glossy highlighters that I prefer. So we'll see if I want to keep this or just get rid of it in the next few weeks. For what I'm getting rid of, first off is the Oh Hi Highlighter Liquid Pearl Drops. It's kind of like a pinky highlighter with blue shift. I would never wear this. I don't know why I ever bought it. And it has exploded everywhere. So we're getting rid of her. I also have this Milk Makeup Glitter Stick, which is old. I don't even think they sell this anymore. Never ever reached for this. So it's gotta go. Speaking of like glossy, balmy things, this is a balm highlighter stick from e.l.f. And it's literally just a balm on a stick. I used to love the shit out of this. It's nothing special. I haven't reached for it in a long time. It does give the skin a beautiful finish. I don't think they even make this anymore, but I haven't reached for it, so it has to go. This Nude Sticks Nudies Glow All Over Face Highlighter color. This is in the shade Half Moon. Again, I think it was limited edition. And it is kind of like a blue shift highlighter with a little bit of purple in there. Again, I don't use blue shift stuff, so it needs to go. This Glossier Plain Night Shine highlighter, they don't make this anymore. This is in the shade Pale Pearl, I think. Maybe I want this to be on probation, on trial, because I really did love this, and I love the packaging, and I can't get it anymore. Ooh, maybe this is going on trial. One other thing that I am for sure getting rid of is this Dose of Colors Baked Highlighter in Peach Glow. It is pretty, a little bit too glittery for me, and again, I don't reach for highlighters ever. So, yeah, this has gotta go. Okay, and let's just lastly talk about what I'm keeping. Let me start with these deck of Scarlet ones because I think these are the Mirror Glaze highlighting trio in the shade Peachy Keen and Rose All Day. This is a huge tub of like gel highlighter situation. It's very messy, and on top you get these kind of highlighter things. I don't hate them, but they're a little bit too dark to be highlighters on me. So I think these are gonna go on trial, on probation for a few weeks because I do like them. Like, they are nice. The formula is really good, but they're so big and I don't reach for them. So I'll try these out, and if not, they're gonna go. Now let's get into what I'm for sure keeping. I'm for sure keeping this Burt's Bees All Aglow highlighter in the shade Opal Mist. I really like it. I reach for it all the time because it gives me more of a dew, not so much a shine. It does have a bit of shimmer in there, but it's mainly like balmy. So I really enjoy this one. Great price, so we're keeping her. I'm obviously keeping my Glossier Halo Scope in quartz. Glossier just got very popular again because they're at Sephora. This is very old. It doesn't smell bad. It doesn't perform bad. So I'm obviously keeping it. Maybe I shouldn't, but I will. Again, gives me a bit of that balmy highlighter. It is a little bit more shimmery than the Burt's Bees one, but I really, really like it still. So we're keeping it. And then I'm also keeping this Inglot Starlight Stick Highlighter in the shade Shooting Star 201. It's not as balmy. It definitely has a bit more shimmer, but it isn't metallic. It isn't glittery. I don't use it all the time, but I like having the option, so we're keeping it. Plus, it's very new in my collection. I don't want to get rid of it still. Next, we have my 3 ColourPop Super Shock Cheek highlighters. This one's in Lunch Money. This one's in Stole the Show, and this one's in Dreamcatcher. This one is very subtle, like shimmer glimmer. I really like it. This one in Stole the Show is much more like boom. So dramatic and a little bit glittery. And this one in Dreamcatcher is almost like a peachy duochrome. But I really like the unique shade, so we're keeping it. And lastly, for my creams, the Makeup by Mario Master Secret Glow in the shade Expensive. Just a gloss balm situation. No color whatsoever. I reach for this all the time to do glossy eyes, for my cheeks. I use it for everything. And I really, really enjoy it. So I'm obviously not getting rid of it. And then I only have 2 powders here. The Essence Pure Nude Highlighter in Be My Highlight. This is a classic. It was well loved for so long. It is a very natural powder and I don't own anything else like it. It's baked, it's perfection, and I still reach for this whenever I don't want a cream, but I don't want anything like super dramatic. And then lastly, I have my Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Champagne Pop. This is old. The packaging is starting to get sticky, so I might have to depot this, but it's gorgeous. I love this. I can never part ways with this. I used to love this so much. It is very, very dramatic and like very, very shimmery. Again, sometimes it's nice to have options. I really like the undertone of this as well. And like purely for sentimental reasons, I also want to keep this. So this is my final what I'm keeping versus what I'm getting rid of. Definitely keeping more than I'm getting rid of, but you know, it's not a lot. I do have a few products on probation, like 3. I think this is good. Like these are products that I definitely just don't wear at all anymore. They don't suit me. They need to go to the trash, some of them. I'm okay with this. Okay, so this is the final pile of everything that I'm for sure getting rid of. Oops, a blush is dying in there. But yeah, these are all the things that I'm for sure just out the door, don't really need them anymore. Some of them need to go to the trash, they're old. It's not as big as I might have wanted it to be, okay? But this is progress, and the first time I decluttered a lot. I don't buy as much anymore, so I didn't need to declutter as much anymore. These is the tiny pile of products that are on probation, on trial, that I'm going to be using over the next few weeks and seeing if I'm gonna reintegrate in the collection or if I'm just gonna toss out. Not a ton, but you know, if I can get rid of a few more, that wouldn't hurt. And lastly, these are all the products that I'm going to be keeping. They're quite a lot, but I look at this and it isn't overwhelming compared to what I had before. It's not, you know, the biggest declutter ever, but it is what I needed to do, and I feel okay with this amount of product. I know my drawer isn't going to be like busting out because that's what was happening, so I'm really happy. Okay, and that's a wrap. My voice is not doing great. I'm still a little sick, so the voice is raspy, and we're loving it. I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Some of these things are going to the trash. They're really, really old. Some of them can go to friends and family, so that makes me really happy. If you want more of these videos, then please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe because I'm definitely going to be decluttering the rest of my collection, obviously, so you don't want to miss that. And let me know what you want to see next. Do you want to see eyes, base, lips? Let me know, and I'll make that happen for you. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope this declutter was relaxing, was satisfying. I hope it was everything decluttering videos are supposed to be. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, I love you, and I will see you right here for the next one. Bye. Mwah.